Vallabha Girivardhani Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhani Yashodanandan Rajajanaranjana Yashodanandan Rajajanaranjana Yashodanandan Rajajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhani Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhani Yashodanandana Rajajanaranjana Yashodanandan Rajajanaranjana Yashodanandan Rajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandan Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandan Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Bihari. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan Gaura Hare. Bolo Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jai Lalita Vishakha, Jai Radhe Shyam, Lalita Vishakha, Jai Radhe Shyam, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe. Lalita Vishakha Jaya Radhe Shyam. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Lo Premanande. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Rajagacharya Stotra Shata Shri Srimad Shri Radharani Bhakti Vedanta Sai Maharaj Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Nama Acharya Shri Thakur Haridasa Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय, गंगा देवी की जय, यमुना माई की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, तुलसी रानी की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। इस्कॉन बीबीथी संस्थापक आचार्य श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय। Shri Shri Lalita Vishakha Sahita Radha Shyama Sundar ki jai. Go Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye. It's the most fortunate occasion here in Vrindavan of Radhashtami, the appearance of Srimati Radharani, as we heard this morning after Mangalarati. Janmashtami is really only preparing the ground for Radharani to appear, because the devotees, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they're more interested in Srimati Radharani even than they are in Krishna. And it's been said, if you want to know who really loves Srimati Radharani, you see who is glorifying Krishna more. And if you want to see who really loves Krishna, you see who's glorifying Srimati Radharani more. They're one and the same entity. Anyway, Purijan Prabhu will speak on this topic a little bit later from 4th chapter. But very, very fortunate, all of us, to be here in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Srimati Radharani ki. Sri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sri Prabhupada ki jai. I was thinking to speak on one verse. Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he describes the Madhurya Rasa, which is the chief concern of Srimati Radharani and her devotees. But he says it's a very complex topic, and he describes it there only in summary because, number one, it's very difficult to describe, and it's difficult for us also to hear, to understand. And it's a very confidential thing, even though, you see it blared out on the internet, everything, confidential affairs of Krishna. But actually it's not meant for that. And nobody really understands this thing so deeply. And because it's unsuitable for those who don't have a transcendental taste, especially because so often the affairs of Radha and Krishna, they appear to be ordinary mundane love affairs. To a mundane vision, that will be the first assumption. So we have to disabuse ourselves of that tendency. And that's why we have 9 cantos in front of the 10th canto. That's before he even begins to discuss Bhagavan, really. and his loving devotional service. We have 4 of the Sandarbhas. One of them deals with Bhakti. Priti comes last. So that's where we have. And for the persons who are qualified, Srila Rupa Goswami wrote his Ujjvala Nilamani about this topic in great detail. So our Goswamis have written us so many wonderful things. We know that we cannot understand anything about Radha Krishna Leela except through the Goswamis. So among those Goswamis, one of them is Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, very staunch devotee of Radharani. So he wrote one book called Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, the great treasure which is the nectar of the rasa of Srimati Radharani. It's a lengthy Sanskrit glorification of Srimati Radharani composed by Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur in the 16th century. Today we'll look at only one of its almost 300 verses. Some 270-something verses are there. And all of them are just unrelated to the others because it's just his ecstasies pouring out. No plot, no set sequence, anything. But very, very important work. So we want to consider the great glory of Lord Krishna's eternal consort and his internal pleasure potency, Srimati Radharani, today. Among mundane scholars, one of them speculated that on the basis of partial manuscript evidence available to him about 100 years ago, this is S.K. Day, he thought that maybe Hidhari Vamsha wrote this Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, but no, that's not the fact. Somehow Sahajiya groups also mistake Prabodhananda Saraswati for the Mayavadi sannyasi who was converted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Kashi, later on, Prakashananda Saraswati, but they're not the same person. Well, how do we know this? Because Srila Prabhupada writes in his purport to Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 7, text 149, the actual author of Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi was Prabodhananda Saraswati. Who was he? Prabodhananda Saraswati? Okay, somebody says Tunga Vidya, but you're too advanced for me. He was the uncle of Gopal Bhatta Goswami and a resident of Srirangam and a member of the Sri Vaishnava community in the 16th century. So Lord Chaitanya met them both at Srirangam long before he met with Prakashananda Saraswati. That happened later. So this is the same person, Prabodhananda Saraswati from Srirangam. He became a Gaudiya Vaishnava and he wrote this wonderful book. So today we're looking at text number 18, which is on the board. You can all follow. I'll sing it once only. Vaidagdhya Sindhur Anuragara Saika Sindhur Vatsalya Sindhurati Sandra Krapaika Sindhu Lavanya Sindhur Amrita Chavirupa Sindhu Shri Radhika Spuratu Me Hridikedi Sindhu. What does it mean? May Shri Radha, I've got a different translation, who is an ocean of clever expertise, the unique ocean of transcendental loving attachment, an ocean of motherly affection, a unique ocean of highly concentrated mercy, an ocean of beautiful charm, an ocean of nectarian splendor and beauty, and an ocean of transcendental pastimes. May that Srimati Radharani and her pastimes reveal themselves within my heart. This is how he writes. And it's interesting because various Vaishnavas who have studied this verse, they've noticed that there are how many oceans here? Is she compared? 7 oceans. Have we heard this before? The 7 seas. In this world, we also have 7 seas, according to empirical analysis. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 1, text number 33, we also hear of 7 oceans. Kshiroda Kshu Rasoda Suroda Grihoda Kshiroda Dati Mandoda Shudhodaha Sapta Jaladhayaha. That means the 7 oceans respectively contain salt water, sugarcane juice, liquor, clarified butter, milk, emulsified yogurt, and sweet drinking water, pure water, that is to say. Very, very much appreciated here in Vrindavan if you can get sweet water. So these things are described in, these oceans are kind of turned around according to this interpretation of this verse, because this material world is the inverse reflection of the spiritual world. So everything here is upside down, as it were. So these oceans, Radharani, Srimati Radharani is compared to each one of these oceans. So Indians don't swim, but if you learn how to swim, you can pick any one of these oceans and dive deep. Like Prabhupada said, we should be deep water fish in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay, so Krishna, he's the Kalyana Gunarnava, according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Bona fide spiritual master is like a rain cloud distributing gentle rain of mercy. It droppeth from heaven as if a gentle rain. Anybody know who said that? Shakespeare, the Kalidas of the West. So raindrops distribute pure distilled water upon the parched earth and the souls who are suffering in the scorching fire of their non-devotional affairs. That would be us. And where does the spiritual master get this gentle rain of mercy from? Where does rainwater come from? The ocean. It's pulled up by the sun, distilled into wonderful clouds. Somehow they stay up there by Ananta Shesha's grace, and then they distribute where needed. That's all arranged by Krishna and his agents. So in the internal potency, this is arranged by Krishna's pure devotees, headed by Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani especially displays 7 of these qualities we're talking about today. Kalyana Gunarnava. All qualities are there in Krishna, but 7 of them are in such abundance that Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur compares her to an ocean of each one of these 7 qualities. So, what are those 7 oceans? Vaidagdha Sindhu, the ocean of expertise. Anuraga Rasa Sindhu, Rasaika Sindhu, I should say. It's a unique ocean we'll discuss in a moment. Vatsalya Sindhu, Ati Sanda Kripaika Sindhu, another unique ocean. Only one of them. Lavanya Sindhu and Amrita Chavi Rupa Sindhu. Nectarian beauty and charm. And Kedi Sindhu, finally, her pastimes. Vaidagdhya, in the dictionary, Vaidagdhya means dexterity, it means cleverness, skill, expertise, cunningness even. This is Vaidagdhya. And Srimati Radharani is an ocean of this skill. She can do anything. Nothing she can't do. So Raghunath Das Goswami has compiled 108 names of Srimati Radharani. Has anyone seen that? It's included as part of his Stavavali. There in text 26, he says she is Vaidagdhi Digdha Vigraha. She is the very embodiment of this transcendental form comprising intelligence, talent, expertise, cleverness, and so on. We know also from Brahma Samhita, anybody know the verse I'm thinking of? How not only Srimati Radharani, but all of her associates are so skilled in so many arts. What am I thinking about? Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabhis Tabhirya Evanaja Rupadaya Kalabhi. They're all her kalas, expansions. Goloka eva nivasati akhilatma bhuto govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. That's a very lengthy purport given by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, which we don't have time to dilate on right now, but I'm just mentioning it in passing. She's so dexterous, so expert, Radharani, in exchanging rasa with Krishna, that even Krishna has to admit that he is directed by that love. In the Adi Leela chapter 4, text 124, Radhikara prema guru ami shishya nata sadayama nanan nritye nachayud bhakta. Krishna says, the love of Radhika is my teacher, and I'm her dancing pupil. Her prema makes me dance various novel dances. Now, this is so despite the fact that in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, third ocean, fifth wave, text number 4, Srila Rupa Goswami describes Krishna asamanordha saundarya lila vaidagya sampadam. What does that mean? He's like the treasure trove of abundant beauty, pastimes, and skill in arts which cannot be equaled or surpassed. And yet he is surpassed. Welcome to Achintya Bheda Bheda. The Ajita, Ajitam Natosmi, but he's conquered by who? Jayashri. Even Lakshmi cannot do that. She's across the river. Still, to this very moment, she's executing austerities, trying to understand what is this Madhurya Leela of Srimati Radharani. Who is this Radharani and what's going on? So, Jayashri, this is Srimati Radharani. So she conquers Krishna. And Ujjwala Nilamani also says, in third chapter, text 21, Acharya dhatu chitre pachana virajana chaturi charu chitta. This is called anuprasa, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Okay? Vagyudhe mugdhayanti gurum abhichat giram pandita malyagumthe pathe shari shukanam paturajatam apidyuti kelishu jishnur vidya vidyoti buddhi Spuriti Ratikala Shalini Radhikeyam. What does it mean? Kundalata told Gargi, "O Devi, what more can I say about the artful expertise of Srimati Radharani? She is the teacher by example of making pictures by mineral pigments." This is something he's written. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has also explained. She's expert in cooking. She can stifle even Sri Krishna in a verbal battle. She's very learned in stringing flower garlands. She's very expert in teaching the Shadi and Shuk parrots. What do? Recite eloquent Sanskrit poetry. Even we can't do that. And we're human beings. But she's so good, she can make even parrots recite wonderful poetry about Uttama Shloka. She can defeat even the unconquerable, Ajita, in the dice game, and she has keen intelligence. In this way, Srimati Radharani, she resembles a vast ocean of pristine water. Why water? Because water wears down anything. You put something in water, it will eventually dissolve. She's powerful like that. She's very expert. What's the next ocean? Anuraga rasa. Anuraga ka matlab kya hai? Anuraga. Attachment is the general. In the dictionary it says attachment, love, affection, devotion, even passion, moving into the Madhurya Rati. So Ujjwala Nilamani, chapter 14, text 146, defines anurag. What does he say? Sadanubhutam apiyah kuryan Nava yavam priyam, rago bhavan nava navaha, sonuraga atiryate. Deep attachment which makes the object of love experienced in ever fresh ways and itself becomes ever fresh, that's called anuraga. She has such attachment for Krishna that it's like every time she's meeting him, it's almost like Purvaraga. She's the first time, I've never seen such a wonderful person. Who is this Purusha? She's wondering. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments on that verse. He says there are two types of this anuraga. One type is in which only a portion of the object of love is ever fresh, like his eyes or his smile or something that he does. It catches us. Jadu karata hai nandalala, they say. So that's one type, and the other type in which everything about him is as if ever fresh. And she's in that category. She's experiencing this. Experience. Yaswanu bhavam akhila shruti saramekam. There's nothing we're going to gain from Krishna consciousness that is not within the realm of experience. Either yours or hers. So we're begging her, please share. We'll return to that theme in a moment. Ujjvala Mani goes on in text 147 of the same chapter. There's an example given in Dana Keli Kaumudi. Speaking of Keli Sindhu, this is one of them, Dana Keli. Even now, if you go to Govardhan, the little kids are still there. They've appointed themselves. Close the gate, you have to pay. This is going on a long, long time. Once I asked one of the Brajavasis, how do these monkeys know how to be so mischievous? And he told me, Hare Krishna only taught them. So someone says here, I've seen Krishna many times, but I've never before seen such sweetness as I'm seeing today. My eyes can't even drink a drop of the beauty in one portion of one limb. What to speak of all of them. Kind of like Tulsidas, he tried to explain when Sita Devi and her friends. There's a sampradaya among the Ramavats. Ramarasika sampradaya, anybody ever heard of them? From Ayodhya they know. What about Bharati Bharata, famous Hindi poem? It's previous generations, everybody's forgotten now. They only know C++. Anyway, Maithili Sharan Gupta, Rashtriya Kavi. Yes, he was a member of this Ramarasik Sampradaya. So, Srimati Sita Maharani and her friends, when they first saw Ram Lakshman, what did she say? Bani anayana, nayana bino bani. Eyes don't have words to describe what they're seeing, and words cannot fulfill the function of the eyes. There's no way to deal with this. So this is kind of what we're talking about here. At Danghat near Govardhan, seeing Krishna from a distance, Srimati Radharani spoke this to Brinda Devi. Today his beauty is unique. I can't even drink one drop of the beauty in one portion of one limb. So, just like Goswami had such realization, what did he say? The holy name, the shining, the effulgence from one toenail is enough. That's how he appreciates the holy name. Do we? So, all right, so although I've seen his sweetness many times, experiencing it as never before with extreme thirst. This is Anuraga. Another example, which Radharani is talking to Lalita, O slender friend, who is this Krishna whose name upon entering my ears makes me lose my composure? Lalita answers, oh, you're just blinded by love. What are you saying? You continually play on his chest. Kis Rupman? Yes. Vishnu Vakshasthalastita, Lakshmi Devi. Radharani she won't take any of that. She says, don't make fun of me. And Lalita says, no, you're bewildered. I've placed you into the hand of that person. Radharani says, yes, it's true, but a flash of lightning has today landed in the courtyard of my eyes. In other words, it's just overwhelming. Jiva Goswami explains that this is questions and answers between two friends. We don't really have entrance into these affairs, but this is giving us a hint of what is this Anuraga. So in this way, Radharani's deep attachment, Anuraga, more or less equals her Mahabhava, because we know that in Ujjvala Nilamani, Radharani's prema is described all the way up to Mahabhava, and just prior to Mahabhava is Anubhava, one of those subdivisions. Kind of like we say bhava itself is the dawning of prema, so you can kind of equate them. So, but this Mahabhava is actually a unique ocean, that nobody else has this. Anyone who has Anurag for Krishna gets it from Srimati Radharani. That is a fact. Alone, only she can give this. Mahabhava is described as kshira. Kshira is condensed milk, like bhava but highly condensed. And that is prema. Therefore, she's considered to be like the kshira sagara, like the milk ocean in this verse. What's next? Vatsalya Sindhu. She's an ocean of Vatsalya. The general definition of Vatsalya means fondness, tenderness, affection, kindness to someone, showing affection. Later on in this very book, Radharasa Sthaniti Prabodhananda Saraswati depicts this when he says in text 156, when will my Dasi Vatsala, that is Srimati Radharani, who feels this Vatsalya for her maidservants, offer me her chewel betel nut? He doesn't even say me. When will she offer one of her servants? But he's thinking, that would be me. So, Arapayuta kimapi dasi vatsala karhiratha. This is what he says. She's the ocean of this kind of vatsalya. General vatsalya, but vatsalya, what do we normally think of when we hear the word vatsalya? What does it mean? Vatsalya rasa. What is it? Parental affection. How does she have this? Maternal affection, especially, because usually the mothers love more, especially if they're Bengali mothers, Prabhupada said. So it's really, the word is vatsa. Vatsa ka matlab kya hai? Vatsa, bache. Right? Here in Vrindavan we have so many of them. Little calves. The love that the cow feels for these calves, you can see it. It's so clear. Even back 2,000 years ago, the Buddhist poet Ashvaghosh, when he wrote Buddha Charita, very nice line he made it. Pranashta vatsam iva vatsalam gam. Just like lamenting like a cow who has lost her calf. Oh my God, it is the most painful thing. So this is the deepest love, especially Prabhupada said in the material world, love of a mother for children. It's selfless and it's deep also, both of them. It's right next to Madhurya for that reason. So even here, Srimati Radharani she's also an ocean of this parental love. How so? It's ironic because we know that in the later section of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami tells us that a Madhurya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa, they don't really mix. And we have to be so careful of it, Asabhasa. Of course, there are some ways that these mix, and it's okay, but you have to be really good. You have to have the Vaidagtya that Radharani can confer upon you. Mostly we're not like that. We don't understand these things. So, we know that some of Krishna's friends, for example, also in Sakya Rasa, they can and do support the Madhurya Rasa because everything in Vraj does. Srila Prabhupada has written about this many times throughout his books. Let's consider his purport to Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, 24, Chapter 4, Text 45 and 6, which, as a matter of fact, is describing the Lord in his form which appeared in Mathura 5,000 years ago. But we don't know that. That's confidential information. Prabhupada writes in his purport, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the gopis, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, the cowherd boys, the cows, and everyone else are actually on the Raga Marg or Bhagavata Marg platform. They participate in 5 basic rasas: Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, and Shanta. But although these 5 rasas are found in the Bhagavata Marg is especially meant for Vatsalya and Madhurya, the paternal and conjugal relationships. Paternal friendship, paternal service, and conjugal service are visible in the Vrindavan Ragmarg relationships. So Srimati Radharani is, because she's an Vaidagtya Sindhu, she's an ocean of expertise, she can actually harmonize these two, and she does so. For example, certainly her Mahabhava subsumes the Vatsalya Rasa, so it has to manifest sometimes. Where does it manifest? Yeah, for the devotees, we've already discussed that. But how does this maternal affection for Krishna manifest in Srimati Radharani? This is exactly the example that's given. When she's cooking for Krishna. Who appointed her to cook for Krishna? Yashoda. Radharani is more dear to Yashoda than her own life. And all those devotees who are in parental rasa, secretly they harbor a desire in their heart that maybe he can marry Radharani one day, but when they get old, we know. Actually, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur never refers to Abhimanyu as her pati. He always calls her upapati, so-called husband. It's like he can't handle it. It's just like Akrura also. Gopi Pranadana Prabhu told me that He never saw any case in which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in particular ever said anything nice about Akrura. Either he was neutral or negative. These devotees are not ordinary sadhakas. They're not regular acharyas. They are actually Krishna's most confidential associates. They come in the sadhaka deha just to teach the rest of us. But actually they're members of this pastime. Just like I was translating the Dwadasha Stotra of Madhvacharya. So one verse he says, Smarami, I remember. And all the Tattvavadi commentators there, they all comment that when he says, I remember, he means, I remember. He was there. Was Madhvacharya considered an incarnation of? Vayu, Bhima, Hanuman. So take your pick. So anyway, now we know that all such affection Srimati Radharani demonstrates is filled with her own bhava. Cannot be otherwise. And that bhava we've already described. It's Kira. And we know that although they remain distinct, milk and yogurt are yet one and the same because yogurt retains its essence in the form of milk. Right? Therefore, Srimati Radharani as Vatsalya Sindhu is like the ocean of yogurt. Ati Sandra Kripaika Sindhu, another unique ocean. Only one of these. Why? Because it is Kripa, which is Ati Sandra. Sandra means highly densified, highly concentrated. Ati Sandra, extremely so. Very, very thick mercy. She's like an ocean of this. This word kripa comes from the dhatu, means krip, which means to long for, to implore, to feel for someone, to lament, to mourn, even to pity another person. So kripa means kindness, it means favor, it means pity, tenderness, mercy, compassion. There's a lot of overlap, you've noticed, between these terms. But Ati Sandra means it's most densely concentrated. Raghunath Das Goswami has compiled these 108 names, which we've described already. So they're in text 26 of his Radhika Ashtottara Shatanama. He says that, he gives her the name Karuna Vidrava Deha Murtiman Madhuri Ghata. What does it mean? Srimati Radharani's whole body melts with sweet compassion. Usually when we say that a person's heart melts, right? Sukha vidrutam syat. What is that verse? Nanopachara krita pujnam arthabanto. Anyway, I can't remember now, but vidruta means melted. Vidravad also means melted. It's not just her heart who melts, it's her whole body melts. Because actually there's no difference between her heart and her body. In the spiritual world, we are our bodies. Only in this world, we're not our bodies. That we need to get first. That's what the 9 cantos are for, and the 4 or 5 sandarbhas before this. So, all right, so, now, Krishna is the most merciful form of the Lord. That's described at length, quoting from Vishnu Purana and Lagu Bhagavatamritam. Because when Krishna kills demons, they go back to Godhead. Like Putana, Shishupal even, you see. But Lord Krishna's most important, his most merciful form is Kaun. Who is the most merciful form of Krishna? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But where does he get it? He's Krishna. Krishna imbued with the color and sentiment of Radharani. What is that sentiment? Ati Sandra Kripa. He gets it from her. That's why this is unique. Only she can give it. She's the only one. Krishna's supremely merciful form of Lord Chaitanya gets his kind of compassion only from Srimati Radharani, who is his own internal potency. Therefore, this ocean is also unique. Eka Sindhu. And Radharani's soft heart is it's as soft as melted butter. Therefore, you've guessed what kind of ocean she is. She's a whole ocean of this Vidruta, Hridayam Vidruta. Melted heart, melted body, actually. All right. So Lavanya Sindhu. What does Lavanya mean? Salt. Lavanya. It does mean salt, saltiness, salinity. But in this context, it means beauty, loveliness, charm, elegance. This is Srimati Radharani, and she's an ocean of it. How could she not fascinate Krishna's mind? Anyone knows, you come to Krishna Balaram temple any day of the year, any time of the day, if the darshan is available, where is the bigger crowd? Yes, you already know the answer. They're all in front of Srimati Radharani because who always looks the best? No doubt, hands down, Lavanya Sindhu. This is her, according to Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur. It's not just my opinion. In Ujjvala Nilamani, chapter 9, texts 28 through 30, Srila Goswami defines this Lavanya. Mukta phaleshu chhayayas taralatvam ivantara pratibhati yarangeshu lavanyam tarihochate. Lavanya is a luster that shines in the limbs as if it shines from within pearls. Everybody loves pearls. Anyone here from Hyderabad? Yes. It's a famous place for pearls, although they also do diamonds. In fact, that Nizam of Hyderabad single-handedly financed the entire British World War I war effort. That's how wealthy he was. Now it's known for jewelry. Pearls, everybody goes there. What is that place called? Charminar? What, Lad Bazaar? Yeah. Anyway. Pearls. It shines like pearls. Different kinds of pearls. All different colors of pearls also. So, and then yatha jagaramala ruchir vichityarathe vyadhita vidhistavaduna angikani Manimaya mukuram kuranganetre kiranaganena vidambayadanti yani. Lord Krishna tells Srimati Radharani, "Oh, doe-eyed Radharani, oh, the beautiful luster of your limbs mocks the splendor of jeweled mirrors. Even though Lord Brahma searched the entire universe, he could not find, what to speak of create, anything as beautiful as you." Or is another example here. Don't mind the Sanskrit. Shinu sakhitava karnane varnayam yatra nichayar virajaya mukhachandram ma vitharad vivarnanam iyamurasi murarer astinanyam ragakshi marakata mukudabhe bimbitasi tvameva. Once, as Srimati Radharani was enjoying pastime with Krishna, Vishakha addressed her. "My friend, listen. Now I'll whisper something in your ear. Please don't force the moon of your face to become so pale. Rest it against Krishna. Allow it to be reflected in the sapphire mirror of his chest. No other doe-eyed gopi is reflected there." So this is luster, Lavanya. He's taking it as luster here. Bilvamangala Thakur also had some realizations about this in his Krishna Karnamritam. He says that Krishna's eyes, they're like aquatics swimming in the ocean of Radharani's beauty, Lavanya Sindhu. Chatur yaikinadana sima chapalapanga chata manthanam lavanyamrita vichi lolita drusham lakshmi katakshadritam kalandi pularangana pranayanam kamavatarankuram. Wow. Balam Neelam Amiyavam Mathurima Swarajyabaradhamaha. That means we worship the dark bluish young boy in whom culminates the principal stimuli for amorous love, who causes Radharani to become languid with the beauty of his dancing sidelong glances, and who in turn becomes languid with love when when Sri Radha and her friends cast their sidelong glances upon him. That boy's beauty, like waves of nectar, engenders an extreme thirst in the eyes of Radharani and her companions. And conversely, their nectarian beauty likewise makes him thirsty to see them. He's affectionately worshipped by Srimati Radharani's wistful glances, and he enjoys loving pastimes with Radharani and her friends on the bank of the Yamuna. We worship that young bluish boy, the origin of the God of love, who has attained unchallenged dominion over love's sweetness. This is also in the Bhagavatam. I'm going to start skipping Sanskrit because we don't want to run out of time. But you may know some of this verse is also translated by Srila Prabhupada in Adi Lila chapter 4, text 156. What austerities the gopis must have performed. With their eyes, they always drink the nectar of Lord Krishna's form, which is the essence of loveliness and is not to be equaled or surpassed. That form is the only abode of beauty, fame, and opulence. It is self-perfect, ever fresh, and extremely rare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Just as Srimati Radharani and her friends are intoxicated upon seeing Krishna, so is Krishna upon seeing them. That's the take-home message here. Especially Srimati Radharani. Therefore, Srimati Radharani is like the ocean of Sarkari Teka Sharab. Sorry, couldn't resist that one. It's everywhere here in Braj. She's like the ocean of liquor. So intoxicating for Krishna. Nothing else can intoxicate him. Amrita Chavi Rupa Sindhu. And she's like the ocean of, well, Amrita means immortal. It also means nectarian, therefore, because that's what they do in the immortal world. They drink nectar. Chavi means splendor. It means hue or complexion. It means beauty. Rupa also means beauty. It means form, figure, shape, appearance, image, reflection, embodiment, character, likeness, grace, beauty, loveliness, splendor, feature, mode, manner, way, or kind. How do you put all that into one word in English? You cannot do it. That's why I'm giving definitions. So although Krishna's beauty stuns everyone, including Cupid, we heard this morning, Madan Mohan, Srimati Radharani, being the very form of nectarian beauty, drowns even Krishna in her sweet nectar. This is again in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Mora rupi apayita hoy tribhuvana radhar darashane amar judai nayan. Although my beauty defeats the beauty of 10 million cupids, although it is unequaled and unsurpassed, and although it gives pleasure to the three worlds, seeing Srimati Radharani gives pleasure to my eyes. This is Krishna speaking. Therefore, Srimati Radharani is like the sweet sugarcane juice ocean. This is the conclusion. Finally, Keli. Keli means pastimes, play in general, amusement, sport. In the Madhuri Rasa, it means amorous play, flirtatiousness, jest, joking. You can't have Madhuri Rasa without joking, correct? Young boys, young girls. It means disguise, concealment, all these things, Keli. So, that means there's only one choice left, right? We're on the seventh ocean. And which one have we not mentioned yet? Saltwater ocean. How can we compare Srimati Radharani to a saltwater ocean? We don't, it's counterintuitive, but it's true. How so? Think about it. If a human being drinks seawater, what happens? First you go lulu, then you get urinary tract infection, and then ultimately you'll die. So you can't drink salt water. For us it's poison. But, and therefore, these oceanic pastimes will kill the spiritual life of anyone who tries to imitate them, or anyone who takes them casually as mundane love affairs, as we discussed in the beginning. These pastimes are inimitable. They're wholly and exclusively transcendental. If we take it the wrong way, it will have the opposite effect. But if we take it the right way, what is the right way? From Srila Prabhupada. If we hear faithfully and submissively, then what happens? Instead of killing us, this salt ocean will kill lust. Right? Hridroga kama. It's described as such in Bhagavatam. It's the most effective way to kill lust. You hear from Krishna book. Krishna book ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Tamal Krishna Goswami ki. Why? Because he's the one who allowed Srila Prabhupada to write this Krishna book in Los Angeles around what, 1968? Something. He saw it. He saw the importance. He was so foresightful. So he made sure that Prabhupada got this summary study done. And Prabhupada wrote it in such a way, he said, that nobody can misunderstand. This is our great good fortune in the form of Srila Prabhupada, that we can hear. This is our medicine. That's also the Nivritta Tarshayara Vigyamana Ityadi. No time to discuss. Okay. So in his Ujjvala Nilamani, chapter 3, text 24 and 5, Srila Rupa Goswami warns us, Vartitavyam shamicchad bir bhaktavan natu krishnavat ityevam bhakti shastranam tatparyasya vinirnayah ramadivad vartitavyam nakvachid ravanadivat ityesha mukti dharmadi paranam naya iryate. Those who desire auspiciousness should act as devotees, not like Krishna. So act like a devotee, don't act like Krishna. This is discerned as the meaning of the scriptures on bhakti. To act like Rama and not like Ravana is the conduct recommended for those seeking liberation or piety. Right? What's the difference? Krishna is prema purushottam. That means in the interest of prabala prema. What is that song? Prabala prema. Bala Parakara, Prabhu ko niyama badalte dekha. Famous. I heard it in Kathak. So, Krishna will bend all the rules, he'll break the rules also in order to privilege love. But Ramchandra doesn't do that. What do we call him? Maryada Purushottam. He's hardcore by the book. So therefore it said you should act like Ram, don't act like Krishna. And you should also act like a devotee. And don't act like the demons. So this is the idea. And of course, Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto 33, text 30, Naitat samacharet jatu manasapi hanishwaraha vinashyatyacharan maudhyad yatharudva abdijam visham. Somebody who is not a great controller should never imitate the behavior of such personalities, even mentally. If out of foolishness an ordinary person does imitate the behavior of persons like Lord Shiva, he'll simply destroy himself, just as a person who is not Rudra would destroy himself if he tried to drink an ocean of poison. In this way, Srimati Radharani is like a saltwater ocean also, even. All right, so in this way, Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur has fervently prayed that Srimati Radharani may reveal her pastimes, the ocean of these pastimes, within his heart. Because she's a veritable ocean of Vaidagdhya, she'll always find a way to qualify those who take her shelter. That's our great saving grace. She can turn us into qualified maidservants if we take shelter properly. And because she's an ocean of transcendental attachment, she can share even one drop. One drop is nothing out of the ocean for her. She can do it. She can share it with us. And then we can also become attached. As an ocean of motherly affection, she will keep us safely in her lotus feet if we hold on to those of her representatives. Khaskar Srila Prabhupada. Although we are so unqualified, she's a shoreless ocean of highly concentrated compassion. Highly concentrated compassion. Really potent compassion. She will bestow her compassion upon us. Surely she will. Then even we will be able to swim in the ocean that is her incomparable beauty and her nectarian splendor. So in this way we should pray at the lotus feet of Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur. We can try to follow in his footsteps and pray for this benediction. All right, there's so much more we can say, but my time is up, so I'm going to end here. And thank you all very much for listening patiently. Anyone has any questions, you can ask Burijan Prabhu. He's far superior to me. So. I'm sorry. But you have to empower me to answer it.
My question is that hope you in your last lifetime. Have you It's like an eighth portion of spiritual knowledge and sweetness. Such a blessing.
Hare Krishna. Your blessing. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srimati Radharani ki jai. Go Premanand.